Hi everyone. It is Monday. I did do a recording for you today because it's Labor Day weekend and I'm at the lake, but I did not want to miss it. And so I am coming to you with a beautiful fall card. And this is the card. It's a fun fold, but it's a gift card holder. I've got my business card in here, but right here is a little place to put yourself a gift card. I didn't like how big these were, so I did cut them down, and so that's what they look at here. I took a 1/2 inch off the big one and a 1/4 inch off the little one, so I'll be using those instead. And instead of black, I use the Memento for the image because I am going to color it with my pencils and then use an aqua painter to brush in the colors so it's like watercolor, just something different. Since our markers are going away, I thought I would get my colored pencils out and use them. I could use blends, but that's fine too. So this is the card we're going to make. This is the supplies we're going to use. I'm using the Autumn Amber stamp set. It is a red rubber or cling, which are also going to be removed as soon as they retire, and then they're not going to be printing these anymore. Apparently, they're having trouble finding the materials that they use to make these, so they've been forced to discontinue them. We will be going all to photopolymer. Am I sad about that? That's a yes and a no. I'm constantly trimming my edges of my stamp sets when they're red rubber because I hate shadows. I hate getting something all done and then having it have a shadow on it because it's not trimmed decent or I stamped too hard. So I won't miss that, not one little bit. I will miss the set, however. And then this is the dies that came with it. This is part of the Autumn Toll suite that's going to be in the new catalog. So there's the outlines for the images here, and then there's plenty of words, and then you get an extra wheat, a leaf, and then I haven't tried this bad boy out, but I can hardly wait to play with that. I'll be creating a stamp class for that for next month's fall, what would it be? September, for September's classes. Sorry, lost my train of thought for a minute. I did stamp that in Memento, like I said, because I'm going to be coloring, but I am going to use Early Espresso for my greetings because I think it goes better. I did not use the DSP from this suite. I did use the DSP from the Gathering Together. It's an online exclusive because I absolutely love how rich and beautiful this paper is. The paper that comes with it's a little more masculine and it doesn't have this just beautiful gold accents in it. But it does, the suite does have a metallic specialty paper. So this is the paper that comes with it, and the backs are beautiful too. So I'm thoroughly going to enjoy this paper. It's a little more expensive. This stuff's $16.50 because it's got the metallics in it, but it's still absolutely gorgeous paper. So I'll be using a lot of this paper. So that's what I'm using from the online exclusive Gathered Together stuff. So let's get busy with this card. This is a piece, if I can get a hold of it. So this piece right here is a 5 1/4 by 12, and I'm going to score it at 3, 6 1/2, and 10 1/2, and you score on your favorite side. So just a note on that. I'm going to get my trimmer up, cutting blade up, scoring blade down. Don't score too heavy because it is DSP, so depending on how your score is and your thing, I tend to score too hard and rip my paper. So I'm just going to kind of easy at 3, and then at 6 1/2, and I'm going to gently score that, and then I'm going to go down here to 10 1/2. Here we go, and score that. Okay, and put that away and to the side. All right, so then what I'm going to do is this right here, and I can burnish with my fingernails. If you've got a bone folder, or if you don't have, you can use your block. Fortunately enough, I have nails, so I'm gonna, this one's gonna go This goes over, oh, on the wrong side. Dang it, almost messed it up. I want this to go in, and then this is gonna come over here. There we go. So I want my pretty side to be up like so. So then you get this absolutely beautiful design. So there you go. That is there's your fold. So I folded in on the short one, and then I just zigzag folded on this one, and there's your front. Okay, then you're just going to position that on a piece of cardstock, and you could use Cajun Craze, you could use pumpkin pie. I use crushed curry. It is a 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece, and I am just going to take this. I'm going to get this nice and creased, and I'm going to grab some glue. I'm a Tombow user. Use whatever adhesive you prefer. I find Tombow to be the best thing for me. I'm not heavy-handed with it. I just need a little bit. And then you're going to place that on the top here and get it even. I like that Tombow gives you a little bit of wiggle room. So there's your card. Then I'm going to put this out. I'm going to add a little bit of Tombow to the left and right here. You can use tear tape if you want. Use tear tape. But you just need a little bit. Again, don't be heavy-handed with the Tombow. You'll get along fine with it. Hold that down. I can press on that while I'm doing that. Then, where did I put my... Uh-oh, I'm missing something. Hang on. Don't panic, because it's got to be here somewhere. I made... Where's my little cutouts? There's that. Oh, there it is. So there's that, and then I need... that. Okay, sorry. I didn't have all my pieces here. I thought I did. All right. So I have used, so these dies here are all from the Stylish Shapes, which is in the annual catalog. This is the second largest square. It comes with squares, circles, and what? These shapes, I think, is what it's in it. But very pretty. I use it like a lot. I use it a lot. So this is what I'm going to do. So this is Stylish Shapes. Yeah, it's number 159183. It's $30 for a bunch of shapes, and you'll use them all the time. So there's that. Then I've got a few of the pieces that I cut out from the dies. I'm going to show you how those go together and put in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so I don't lose these, I am going to attach this to the card quick. Just a little bit of glue on the back. And I'm going to stick that right there. And I didn't do the edges because I know it's going to hang over. So I'm going to go a little higher than in the middle. Okay, try to get her on there even. So I got the same one hanging over. Okay, then what I did was I'm going to flip these upside down. And I'm going to invert, because you get these little centers come out. So I am going to invert them into the opposite color, because I know where these are going to be placed. I'm going to do this ahead of time so that I don't forget to stick them in after I put my image down. So I'm going to put these kind of in there, and they set right there. And then I'm going to do is just zigzag a little bit of glue in here, and that'll keep those little buggers in place. And then I'm going to put a little bit right here. All right, so then what I did was on this, I'm going to take the yellow one, if I can get a hold of it. There we go. Gently place that right about here. All right. And then I'm going to add the wheat right here. So it kind of sticks up. And then I'm going to add this green one with the yellow one with the crushed curry inside right about here. And I don't want, make sure my glue isn't sticking out so that well, it's attached to my finger. Of course it is. And that's another backlash of having Tombow. Sometimes they stick to your finger. And that's okay, because you know what? I can wipe it off if I need to. I really want that wheat sticking out there. I kind of want to go under and over. All right, there. So that's going to be that. Yep, I don't have any glue sticking out, so we'll stick to that. So then gets preparing that, because last time I forgot to put this on without doing that. All right, so let's color this. So what I did is I got a pumpkin pie an early espresso, an old olive, actually Stafford's Delight, and then I got a little bit of a Calypso Coral because I wanted this pumpkin to be, I've never seen pumpkins that color. That looks more like a gourd to me, so I wanted it to be a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shadow in around the pumpkin. I want it up and around, so I'm just going to kind of color. It doesn't have to be a ton of color because like I said, I'm going to use my, and for some reason I have misplaced my other aqua painter, so I'm going to have to use the big brushed one, which is fine. I've found that I can handle that fairly easy. I want to get enough in here to drag the color, and then I'm going to highlight orange, or the pumpkin pie in here. Okay, I think that's everything's got to be that. And then I'm going to use my green for the leaves. Oops, I guess I didn't sharpen that quite so great, huh? And then you could make this leaf Cajun Craze, or, I mean, and again, you can use your blender pens. I'm actually just going to do green, and then I want a little bit of green back here. I want this to be green. If I can come around with that. There we go. Maybe this one coming out of here. All right, so that's green. That's going to be green. All right, then I used the daffodil just gently on the well, actually I used it on the corn. Hang on. I used it on the corn, and then I want these to be kind of a yellowy, didn't get this one very well, a yellowy, and this is where I'm going to bring in the early espresso, because I want it to be like a yellowy brown, because it's supposed to be dried, actually, corn. All right, then I'm going to bring a little Calypso Coral here just to blend in with the pumpkin pie. And I think on mine, I actually add a little bit of green, and then I want those to be brown. Okay. And then I think everything else, I can put a little bit of green here. It might pick it up. I don't know. I don't want it to spread out because I'm just going to add some color in down here. All right. To my wheat, which isn't really green. It's more of a yellow when it dries out. It's green when she's new, and she's yellow when she dries out. So that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to grab my brush. I just used it, so it should be wet, but I'm going to, technically, I'm going to make a little water puddle because I want it to be there. I'll weten it up a little bit. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my pumpkins. And I'm just going to do my pumpkins with it. I don't want to go over the edges, so I'm going to do my pumpkins first. Okay. And this one, because it's different colors. Okay, then I'm going to wipe it on my pants because, well, I can. I'll go back and do the browns. I'll wipe it on my pants. And when I'm coloring or markering, I'm always wearing a dark color because I wipe everything on my pants. It's just what I do. Just who I am, folks. It is what it is. So there's your, and it doesn't have to be solid colored. Leave a little bit. And then to dry this out, you can run this on your, to clean this up, you can run it on your chamois or just let it rinse out on your pants. I've got a little bit of water over here. Run it on my pants because I'm wearing dark blue today. Usually I'm in black. But that's how I watercolored that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on, the other one I did not, but this one I'm going to put on dimensionals because I thought I'd give it a little bit of dimension because, you know, why not? And I'm going to use my mini dimensionals for this if I can get a hold of them. They just don't want to cooperate today, do they? I think my scissors are a little sticky because I was using them for something I probably shouldn't have. And there's a little bit sticky on them. And I can hardly wait till I can get them sharpened. It's been a long time since my scissors have been sharpened. And while I'm at convention next month, the 11th, 12th, and the 13th, our scissor sharpener will be there. He does knives and scissors, so I'm going to get every pair I can possibly lay my hands on sharpened, and I'm excited about that. So this is going to go on here, and it's going to, just so it's touching everything. There you go. And then I'm going to take the little one, and I'm going to take my Early Espresso ink pad. Let me get these out of here. There we go. Otherwise, I might get them in my ink, and then, boy, that really makes me mad when it doesn't. Okay, and then I'm going to use the thanks that's in the stamp set. Okay. And I think that'll fit better. So there's my thanks in Early Espresso. And then this one, which I've cut down again by 1/2 inch, I'm going to do blessed to have you in my life. Okay, there we go. I'm going to let those dry a second. And this one should be good. I'm going to flip this one over because I want that one to be dimensionaled up also. I'm going to I do a high-low. You don't need to overdo it with your dimensionals as long as it sticks down. Okay, and that one's going to go down here. I think that just looks cleaner because it's a little bit, I should have over, trying to get in the middle. There you go. There's your thanks, okay? And then on the inside here is where I'm going to flip this over. Whoop. And put some, now this one will probably take 4. It's a little bit longer, but you know, that's okay. And this is why I use minis, because otherwise you find I start cutting up my big ones. And I use everything on my things. I normally start around the outside and cut these into like little strips. So that I can use those. Okay, so that's actually, I put that high this year, but I'm thinking I want it more down here. Because when you fold it out, there you go. So when you fold it out all the way up, it's sitting out thing. I just kind of want it up there. So can you see that? So that's what it looks like out. And again, you can put your, you know, gift card or I always have my business cards on here, so I'm going to stick that in there. But that's your fun fold for today. Oh, I did want to put on, where are they? They are little brown, right here. So these come with the suite too. These are called the streak dots. They're like wood grained. I don't know if you can see those, but they're pretty and they're light and dark. So I'm just going to attach a few of those to my card. Let's see. I think I want a big one here. No, I think I want a big one here. I don't know. Last time I used it all little ones, but then I'll end up with a bunch of big ones. I don't want to do that. But I do want one here. And then I think I'll put the other one where? Up here. How about that? There we go. So that is your card for today on Make It Monday. I hope you enjoy this fun fold, and I would love to see what you make. Again, if you share what you make with me, I will do a drawing on Friday for, you know, for a prize. And because, you know, like I've got tons of things I'd love to send you. Just got to send me your address if you win by Monday, and I'll get this out. So there you go. There is your Make It Monday thing. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next Monday.